Once again, it's Murder and Mayhem Monday. Welcome back. My name is Franklin James, the serial author, and I hope you all have a mayhemless week, or at least try to. Now, today we'll be exploring the heartbreaking case of Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie, traveling vloggers that met a fatal end. It's a chilling case that shocked the nation, but sparked conversations about domestic violence, coercive control, and the warning signs we often overlook. But we'll examine their story by analyzing their behavioral patterns, the power dynamic between them, and the tragic escalation that led to Gabby Petito's death, and then days later, Brian Laundrie's suicide. Now let's get into it. Gabby Petito was a 22-year-old aspiring travel blogger, and Brian Laundrie was her fiancé. And in July of 2021, they set out on a cross-country road trip, a trip they had been planning for quite some time. Now, from what people saw, they appeared to be a happy couple in love. They were documenting their travels through YouTube and Instagram. Yet beneath the surface, there were signs of tension, signs that in retrospect painted a picture of psychological manipulation, domestic violence, and control. Now, one of the first major red flags occurred on August 12, 2021 in Moab, Utah. A 911 caller reported seeing Brian Laundrie physically assaulting Gabby Petito. And when the police arrived, body cam footage showed Gabby Petito in distress. She was crying, apologizing, and blaming herself.
Want to tell me what's going on?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just some days I have really bad OCD, and
Okay.
I was just cleaning and straightening up back of the van before, and I was apologizing to him and saying, "I'm sorry that I'm so mean," because sometimes I have OCD and sometimes I just get really frustrated. Not like mean towards him. I guess my vibe is like I hear him be like in a bad mood. And I was just saying, I'm sorry if I'm in a bad mood. I've just been really stressed. I had so much work I was doing on my computer this morning. I just quit my job.
Okay.
I was a nutritionist. That was my
That's
job.
cool.
And I just quit my job to travel across the country. And I'm trying to start a blog.
Okay.
Have a blog and stuff. So I've been building my website. So I've just been really stressed. And he doesn't really believe that I could do any of it. So that's kind of been like I don't know, he's like down there. I don't know, we've just been fighting all morning and
She displayed what is known as self-blame, which is a defense mechanism. It's a reaction to stressful events, and it's fairly common when it comes to domestic violence. But Brian, on the other hand, he was calm and collected. Hell, he was even joking with the officers, clearly exhibiting signs of a sociopath.
Do you need any water?
That's okay.
It's hot out
I
here.
was we were going to get water because it ran out, but it's okay. No, it's alright. I don't like plastic bottles. It's okay. Thank you, though. But we just had a little disagreement there. And the disagreement was just that she was getting a little worked up, and I was saying, "Oh, it's okay. Thank you so much."
As long as it's cold, that's good.
So it was just more of a disagreement, and I just wanted to.
What was the disagreement about?
It was. I wouldn't even call it disagreement. It was just that I'm dirty and I can't change being dirty. Like I got dirty feet, I got sand on my flip flops and stuff like that. It was that we were at the coffee shop for so long because we were there from 9 to 3. So yeah, there's a few little things, little relationships. I don't know if you have a relationship, but I'm sure you have.
I've been married for over 5 years now. So
There's a lot of little things.
I can go.
In fact, from a psychological perspective, this interaction raises a key question. Was this a case of reactive conflict, when someone responds to a situation aggressively or defensively? Or was it a long-term pattern of coercive control, a pattern of controlling behaviors within a relationship? For example, gaslighting, name-calling, controlling one's finances, and monitoring what one does throughout the day. Typically, one partner controls the other through manipulation. I believe narcissism plays a role as well, right? If the narcissistic one in the relationship doesn't get what they want, it's likely that they'll make their partner feel bad until they do. And once they do get what they want, everything's fine. Now, Gabby Petito's self blame is a symptom seen in victims of emotional abuse. It's what's known as trauma bonding, where the victim internalizes self blame. And the victim might do this if they feel insecure or if they have low self esteem or a distorted sense of self and they crave acceptance, right? And thus they minimize their partner's abusive behavior because they want to keep them and they don't want their partner to leave them. And unfortunately, on August 12th, 2021, the police were unable to recognize these dynamics, classifying Gabby as the primary aggressor rather than a victim in distress. Now, after their police encounter, the couple continued their journey. However, the power imbalance between them became more apparent. In fact, Gabby Petito's last known contact with her family took place on August 21st, 2021. Apparently, she sent a weird text message to her mother, and it said, "Can you help Stan? I just keep getting his voicemails and missed calls." A message referring to Gabby Petito's grandfather, someone she never referred to by his first name. So it's possible that Brian Laundrie was the one who sent that text message. Also, around that time, witnesses reported seeing Brian in a heated argument with staff at a Wyoming restaurant while Gabby appeared deeply upset. And then shortly after that, Brian Laundrie returned home to Florida alone on September 1st, driving Gabby's van. And people were confused, yet he refused to speak about Gabby's whereabouts. And his family, they shielded him from questioning, which doesn't really speak to his innocence. In fact, this kind of avoidance is telling. When someone exhibits guilty knowledge, they often engage in what's known as cognitive distancing, avoiding discussions, deflecting, and refusing to acknowledge the victim's fate. Now, 10 days after Brian Laundrie returned home, Gabby Petito was reported missing on September 11th. He was considered a person of interest, but he and his parents did not cooperate with the police. And it was even speculated that his parents were concealing his location during the investigation, which they did deny. But who knows, right? I mean, all I know is at the end of the day, some parents will do anything to protect their kids. Now, 18 days later, Gabby Petito's body was found in Wyoming's Grand Teton National Park on September 19th, and the autopsy revealed she died by blunt trauma and strangulation, one of the most personal and rage-driven methods of homicide. This suggests a loss of control often seen in cases of domestic violence, where the perpetrator doesn't just want to harm the victim, they want to dominate them completely. But here's where it gets interesting. On September 17th, Brian Laundrie's family reported him missing. And over a month later, on October 20th, his remains were found along with a notebook in which he confessed to killing Gabby Petito. It was determined that he committed suicide and died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. And Brian Laundrie's actions in the aftermath aligned with narcissistic and avoidant tendencies, shutting down communication, evading responsibility, and ultimately taking his own life rather than facing the consequences. And the note he left admitting to killing Gabby Petito said, "I ended her life. I thought it was merciful, that it was what she wanted. But I see now all the mistakes I made. I panicked. I was in shock." In his confession, he framed Gabby Petito's death as an accident, which is a common justification for perpetrators who want to downplay their actions. Now, there have been reports from friends and witnesses suggesting that Brian Laundrie was the controlling one in his relationship with Gabby Petito. I mean, it's likely she was constantly in distress and blamed herself for Brian Laundrie's abusive behavior. Yet her posts online painted a dreamy road trip with her fiancé. And from what we've discovered, social media can mask reality. What we see online isn't always the full story. So if you know someone going through a similar situation in a controlling and abusive relationship, remain in their corner. Encourage them to seek help. because abusive relationships, they never end well, often leaving murder and mayhem in its wake. But I do want to thank you all for tuning in. And I do ask that you stab that like button and subscribe. Leave a comment and let me know what you think about the Gabby Petito case. Share this video out there, smash that bell for notifications, and if possible, avoid mayhem.